As promised, I will make a video about one of my tracks, do a little show and tell, and yeah, talk a little bit about a project, how things get shaped, and yeah, just want to give something back because I've received a lot of support, also by other producers, and I get a lot of music sent to me. So yeah, I hope you guys can learn something from this. I chose "Beautiful Life" as a track to kinda go through. I think I'm really happy with the result. It's a really danceable track, and yeah, there's some fun things I can show, and also the project itself is not too messy for my standards at least. It might look this might look like a mess to you, I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty clean for me. So yeah, let's jump into the let's skip the mix intro. Let's go into the first break, and yeah, let's go for let's see what I can tell about the break. This is the choir. I always use Lacrimosa as a choir, and very important on this one is that you have different phrases that the choir can say. So you have like A, E, I, O. So if you play something, yes, it's saying kind of different things. It's not just a repeating sample playing, but it has some movement, and that's very important with choirs, and also with other organic sounding instruments. And it's just a Nexus pad underneath it, and last of all a bass layer. Always in breaks, always make sure you have low end, because if you play it on in a club, or I don't know, in a car with a subwoofer, it would sound really empty without sub. So make sure you have this. If you can see the EQ, it's very low. It's just to give it some body all together.
You were given this life.
So yeah, that's kind of the basics of the break. Also, I introduced a solo voice. Also Contact. I use Contact for everything, every live instrument. Yeah, this is. It's a really fun thing to play with, and what I do, I take take a piano roll and I just play with the notes. You can put them on top of the other chords. I use Studio One's ghost note function, so I just play around, and if you listen to the break separately, the solo voice really has their own place. It's not really following the chords exactly, but that's what makes it really interesting. And I think it's really nice. Really gives the second part of the break. It gives it a lot of more energy and something extra. What I also do with those kind of things, I record I put the volume or expression of the instrument on the modulation wheel, and I can just record like these lines, and I can give it some movement, and I can decide when it should play a little louder, and to get it some natural feelings. Of course, you have some effects underneath the break, and I always do like a jungle rainy sound, and this time I did some kind of warrior. I'll just show you. It sounds really weird on its own, but it really gives the break nice character. And if I show everything together. Yeah, that's a break. Of course, with the vocals, it's a vocalist named Sui did the vocals for me. She's really talented, and she has done a lot of other tracks in the hardstyle. Really loved the vocals she did. That's just some basic processing on the vocals, and didn't really do like weird effects. Just some backverbs. I'm not gonna explain how you do that because there's lots of tutorials on the internet already. What I did with this vocal, because you have like the part where you are waiting for the melody, like the break gets ended and the melody is coming after that.
Don't waste time.
You know?
It's a beautiful life.
What I did on this part of the vocal is a little whisper effect. What you can do in Studio One is select a piece of audio. This is the vocal. Select it, and you can at the left bottom you can select Event FX, so you can put an effect on just this piece of vocal, and that's what I did with this wave file. I put a MO folder on it and put the whisper preset on it. If I just play it solo, you can hear what the whisper preset does. You give it a whispering effect, and yeah, I just mixed it with the original file, and
it's a beautiful life.
You get like a whisper effect underneath it, and I really thought it was nice for the feelings of the break. Yeah, and then we get to I think one of the most the coolest part of the track, in my opinion, the introducing of the chords. It's a thing I have been doing a lot lately. I'll just play it for you, and then we can talk about it. So, what's going on here? But underneath, because if I solo the leads, you can hear there's a lot of stuff happening as well. Sorry. So there's a lot of stuff happening underneath, and first of all I have some drums playing on the beats. So when a beat hits, you have like a drum. Those are over here. It's just a soft kick, an impact, a sweep, and a crash, and a big crash for the beginning. Without it, really doesn't make sense. Like the melody doesn't have impact. That's what you need. That's what makes it big altogether. And on the first beat, I have like a growl thing, you know, and that's because the first beat there's no synth playing, so I have like an impact, you know. So that's some drums. Over here I have some more cinematic drums. Those are not playing every time because you have to watch out that it's not getting too much and not stacking too much sounds all after another. That's a thing you want to avoid. So at the one and at every first beat I have like a bigger impact, and I take out the low frequencies on all of these sounds, because you don't want to stack lows and lows and lows on all kind of booms and kicks, because you have like low frequencies in this dubstep sound. You have like in these kicks have lows, you know, and you don't want to stack that all up and up. Same thing with kicks playing in the climax and the drop. Another thing I love to do lately in my tracks is just add some robot sound, some camera clicking things like this. And of course, my one of my signature things I've been doing a lot lately. I really love the warrior shouts. Actually, this is my own voice. I'm gonna put some reverb on it, otherwise it's gonna be really embarrassing. But that's actually me shouting into the microphone to create some more originality. And the other warrior sounds can be found on the internet, and this one is totally unique because it's me. And that's kind of how this is built up. And what I actually do with making these kinds of things is I have like chords and I think of rhythms. That's I don't know. I just come up with some beats. I love to keep this one clear. Like you have like the first beat is solo, but I just play around. I just play around with the melody, and I just find out. You know, I don't know. I like to start with longer notes and then just make it more rhythmic in the second part. Another tip I recently found out, I think at Motion Controller's masterclass, is that if you have like a melody on G sharp, like this one is G sharp, you have like a lot of black keys, and if you want to play something on your keyboard, especially with chords, it's harder when you need to learn black keys and need to play chords like that. But if you transpose a melody to A, you have an A minor scale. An A minor scale has only white keys. So what I do when I jam around with melodies, it doesn't work with every melody because not every melody has the same scale. But when I transpose it to A minor and I transpose it back down at the at this menu, it's back to, it sounds like a G, but it plays over here, it plays an A. I can just play the chords with white keys. You know? It's really easy. I can just play and I can just play around, and I know all the chords will work. You know, and it's much easier because if I have to learn a scale, a G sharp scale, a F scale, I'll use a lot of B scales. It's really difficult to learn all the chords, and this one is really easy, and I can just jam around with the keys. So this is the first melody. I'll put this back to G because otherwise it gets confusing with the rest. What about the synths? It's silent, just a silent synth, another silent, Spire top lead, silent top lead, virus top lead. Yeah, all the other leads have a really different feel, you know. Also, this one, the Gimme Love lead, is really important to give it some fatness and make it sound really, really big. Without it, it really lacks something if I play the top leads with the top lead. You know, it's not really hearable in the mix, but it really you really miss it when you are not playing it, and that's what you want in your tracks, because if you stack the same sounds onto each other, it just gonna sound louder but not bigger or better. So that's a big tip. And if you're not hearing a difference when you play it solo it, you just delete it because it's messing up your mix. Less is more, most of the times.
Don't let fear control your mind. Open your eyes. Don't waste time. It's a beautiful life.
Yeah, just the vocal, the melody gonna break down. You know, it's just basic. It's just one tone. It's not transposing the notes again. So it's just one key. Also, I recorded one long note of all the synths, and I put it in a WAV file over here, and also made it go up in pitch with the pitch plugin, and made a reverb, really long reverb. You can see 28 seconds, and it's going up, 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 up. So you can make like a riser with your own melody, and that's exactly what I did over here. And also I have some other risers. I reversed most of the times when I look for risers. I just look for a good sweep down, and I reverse it, and so it's basically a riser. Yeah, and then we have the drop. Really important at the drop. I always have two plugins that I enable when the drop sounds gotta sound. I have a filter that cuts away all the lows. So when the kick plays, everything below 200 Hz is a no-go. I make sure every melody goes through this bus. I also have a filter, a volume shaper, and the volume shaper just dips out the beginning of the melody. When I mute the kick, you can hear what I mean. It's really extreme case, but now you can hear what I mean, and yeah, it just depends. Sometimes I do like a different kind of shape, but it depends on the melody and depends on the kick. How much space do you need, and that's just a matter of matter of listening, a little bit of experience, knowing your track, knowing knowing how your mix should sound. By the way, I always use Sense for my reverb, just Valhalla, and I always sidechain my reverbs. So if you can see this, when the leads are playing, my reverb dips like 3 dB down. So you have like room for the melody, and when the melody stops playing, immediately the reverb goes 3 dB up. So you have like ways to fill the mix with sound, and you don't want to get the reverb in the way of the melody. Yeah, I got the wire chants going on in the drop. They just keep playing. I thought it was fun to do that. Details, you don't really hear that. And in the second part, I kind of go back to the first part, but with pauses. The vocals playing in between.
It's a beautiful world. Don't waste time. Open your eyes.
The warrior chants are coming back. The longer ones. The screech I used in the first build-up as well. It's the Gangsters Don't Dance screech, also used in Final Cells. I remade the Gangsters screech. I did a tutorial on that one as well a year ago. Yeah, also with a tremolo, it's fun. I use a lot of tremolos to to make it more I don't know, interesting.
It's a beautiful life.
You know, and then the melody starts playing.
For life.
So I use two contacts. I use two contacts for that. I have like one when the talk is pitching, and this one the talk isn't pitching.
It's a beautiful life.
So it's actually sounded on the one. I also cut the reverbs at this point, so it's really solo the kick and the warrior voice. So that's something fun I really love to do. Also, I introduced some plug. No, not plugs, but. A lot of reverb, a lot of delay, and just to make it a little bit more interesting. Yeah, that's basically the drops, and after that it's going quickly to the outro, and the outro is really basic. It's just a screech. I didn't even bounce that screech. It just just a virus screech. I don't care. You can copy the. Check out what it's doing. Nothing special. Just resonance. A lot of resonance, and I think the digital filter and the effects channel, and it's just pitching up and down. Doing some tremolo effects at the end. That's fun always. You know, I play with the depth and the frequency, and I just play around. This is the pitch, so it pitches up and down. Yeah, some background sound, just some growls going left and right. Also the warrior chants again. I just use them through the whole track as a thematic thing. Yeah, that's basically the track. It's pretty basic, but it does the job. I got a lot of more tracks with more sound and more technical shit, but this is just a nice danceable tune, I think, and it just works. I'm really happy with the result. So I hope you learned something from this, and I would love to do more of these videos, and please let me know if you have suggestions, more questions. I try to answer everything for you guys, and yeah, I hope to see you guys in another video.